What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new documentary series America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Let's rock this. So basically, if you were fans of CMT's old show Making the Team, then this America's Sweethearts is just a continuation of that. It's because CMT decided not to renew that show anymore after so many seasons, and now Netflix has picked it up, revamped the title, and got a bunch of new creatives behind the cameras in charge of putting it all together. So yeah, America's Sweethearts is just the new season of Making the Team basically. But since I've never watched a single episode of Making the Team, don't ask me to make any comparison in this review. I'm just judging this one with fresh eyes. That said, I've already watched all 7 episodes of America's Sweethearts, and I gotta say, I do not like this show at all. Now, I'm not putting this on the cheerleaders. They are absolute dolls. They are some of the hottest, sexiest, most beautiful women I've ever seen on Netflix. And mind you, this is not some skimpy bikini reality show. So bless their hearts that their dream is to become a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and I think this show does a pretty good job of encapsulating their journey, all of it, from the auditions to their personal lives. But the one that really grinds my gears is the leadership of the DCC. I think their names are Judy and Kelly, if I'm not mistaken. And I hate their selection process, and I hate some of the consideration taken into their deciding which of the girls would advance to the next stage. Unfortunately, this is not some American Idol type format. There's no general public voting for the winners. So all the power lies with Judy and Kelly and a few other people. And their line of thinking through all that is what ultimately disgusts me. Directed by Greg Whitley, this series follows the 2023-24 Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders squad from start to finish, kicking off at auditions and training camp and continuing all the way through the NFL season. The 7-episode series gives viewers unfiltered access into this iconic team and franchise. Led by longtime director Kelly Feinglass, the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders opened their doors to document their personal stories behind the uniforms, revealing the drive, the hustle, and the drama among the cheerleaders and coaches. For many, it's a dream to make the team, but that's only just the beginning. Right off the bat, on the first few episodes, when either Kelly or Judy said something to the effect of, "They've been the chairwomen of this program for decades," and they admitted to the fact that women back then, when they were Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders themselves, were not great dancers, or they were not as physically talented as the women today. That to me is a red flag, because how on earth are you qualified to judge today's auditions when the standards or the measures that you have are from back then? How dare you demand today's women to give so much more when you didn't have to give all that much when you wore the uniform, since you said it yourself, you were not a great dancer, but you got in the team anyway. This is the equivalence of those dinosaur Congress members who banned TikTok, but they would not be able to tell you what TikTok is if their life depended on it. I really hate it when dinosaurs like Kelly and Judy are the ones setting the rules. And some of the criteria just jumps at you, like for example, well, I'm just gonna say it, on one of the episodes, Kelly and Judy commented on one of the girls' way of smiling, and on another case, they criticized a girl's legs, so on and so forth. One of the girls dyes her hair to a new hair color, only to get booted out the next day. So even any effort to change your looks is still not good enough. They're just nitpicking these girls down to every detail of their physical appearance. It's not even sexism, it's just superficial and shallow. Look, if you ask me, every one of those girls is gorgeous and breathtaking. And so you're telling me that some of them are less pretty than the others? Yikes. Look, the athletic part, I get it. You gotta have the dance skills. You gotta have the endurance. You gotta be physically capable of executing the choreographies. And you have to be in sync with the rest of the team rhythmic wise. Those are all merit based. I get all that. But the judgment about what's on the outside is way too harsh. Maybe if this was a Vogue runway or a Miss America pageant, I would understand. If this was a show like Love Island or Too Hot to Handle, for example, then yeah, I would understand the overemphasis on sex appeal. Look, when I watch professional cheerleaders like the DCC doing their thing, dancing at top speed, what I ask is, are they able to hype up the crowd for the game or are they not? That's the only thing that matters to me. I don't care whose smile is ugly and whose smile is perfect. As long as their heart is in it and their energy radiates into the spectators. The most compelling episode to me is the 9 to 5 episode where the cheerleaders, especially the veteran cheerleaders, share their crazy stories about some of the creepy fans who stalk them and scare them. My heart just breaks hearing that. The difference between Hollywood celebrities and DCC is that Hollywood celebrities can afford personal security bodyguard, whereas DCCs don't get that luxury. And that's another thing that pisses me off. Kelly and Judy tells the cameras that the cheerleaders are not paid jack shit, essentially. Okay, don't just tell us that. Tell us whether you've done something about that. Tell us whether or not you've done something to change that culture, which clearly you have not. Some trailblazers you are. Sheesh. You have been in that position of power for decades and you haven't done a thing in terms of the cheerleaders' compensation? I know, it's not a full-time job and it has an expiration date. But some of these girls sacrifice going to college. They sacrifice getting a career just for this. The least you can do is give them fair wages for their time representing the organization. Dallas Cowboys makes money off the backs of these girls, from calendars to merchandise to TV deals like this Netflix show, and they deserve to get a bigger slice of that pie, a bigger chunk of that percentage, when they basically do all the work. But that's the thing with having leaders like Judy and Kelly, who refuse to pass the baton, who refuse to relinquish power. They have no self-awareness. Heads up, whenever somebody says that the added bonus that comes with it means so much more, well, that's basically the same as if your boss doesn't want to give you pay raise, so he gives you a pizza party instead. While I commend and respect and admire the solidarity and the camaraderie between the cheerleaders, and every one of them has such vibrant personality, especially the virgin Christian girl, Reese. At the end of the day, if you want an inspiring story about girl power, go watch something else. Because don't forget, they all ultimately worship at the altar of Jerry Jones. And these girls crack their hip for a crappy team, Dallas Cowboys, who haven't won a Super Bowl in almost 30 years. Yikes! So yeah, overall I give America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders the rating of 1.5 out of 5. This is the first and the last time I will ever purposely watch this particular show.